Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Oh, so I just came on to say hello. I haven't been on for a few days. Um, have you ever taken a vacation and then got back to feel like you still need a vacation? The traveling is not all that it's cracked up to be. Somebody lied, right? You be more tired from the vacation when you get back. You need a vacation from taking the vacation. Um, but I did do a little bit of traveling over this weekend, which was not necessarily vacation oriented. It was more along the lines of handling some important things. But it was enjoyable. It was a new experience. And a couple of things was very interesting. I just got back not too long ago, and on my way back, um, as I got off the plane, I had to catch the kind of like an express service back to my car where I was parked. And so it just happens to be like an express shuttle service. And the experience getting on the shuttle service was very interesting, and I wanted to share it with you all. Um, it was a black man, first of all, not middle age. He was a bit more between, I guess he may have been like maybe between his, I would say late 30s, maybe late 40s, maybe. Um, and this was the shuttle uh, driver. First of all, let me say, very polite. Um, and when I got on the shuttle, it was very interesting. I thought I was going to miss it. And I ran before he pulled off and I said, "Are you going over to the lot where I was parked?" And he was kind of like, "Which lot is it? There's a couple, so which one is it?" And so I expressed to him the one that I thought it was. I was like, "The big lot. I'm parked in the big lot." And so he was like, "The big lot. Okay, so come on." And when I stepped onto the shuttle service, it was absolutely full to capacity. And so much so that there were people standing up. And I stepped into the um, the shuttle, and this man, okay, he said, "No, come on in. What we gonna do is this man is gonna get up and let you sit down." There was a man that was sitting down with his wife, um, a Caucasian man, and the man got up. I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you," And so I went over and I sat down. This man was making men get up, right? And so we were stopping at several different stops, and women were getting on. He was like, "Yeah, the men are getting up, like women of all color, right?" There was this very interesting feel I got. This kind of like special treatment, a little bit, but not so much so to where it was not respectful and um, serving to everyone as a whole. However, I felt like there was a bit of special treatment towards people of color. I just got that feeling. There was me and a couple of other people on there that I felt a little bit more care, like directed towards the people of color, notwithstanding the service and the hospitality towards everyone, though. Let me point that out. But there was a distinction made towards people of color. This was a man of color, and he was making people get up to let the women sit down, first of all. And I was like, okay. And very outgoing, very open, and communicative with everybody. Um, there was just a way that he was connecting with the people that he was servicing, just making sure that everyone's needs were met. And when it got to the point where Even as P was letting people off, he was taking, the luggages down for the women and carrying them down off of the shuttle for the women. When it came time for me to step off the shuttle, right, he actually grabbed my arm and escorted me down off of the shuttle. I was just like, wow. Like, I almost felt like I was his mother or his grandmother. Like, it was like a very um, chivalrous feeling. I was like, okay, chivalry is not dead. And it wasn't like he was like coming on to me or getting fresh, but it was a real genuine let me care for you since you are in my realm of service, right? And you know what Spirit began to tell me? Like, that's the kind of care that we need to show each other. Not so much spending so much energy trying to fight the enemy or trying to fight that energy that's trying to tear things down, that's trying to thwart the progress made, but spending how much more effective and illuminating it is to pour the energy into the right place, towards the right direction, right? And Spirit was saying, this is what we need. We need to show genuine care for each other. And that was just totally undisputable. It's undeniable that this particular man decided today when he got a, maybe that's what happened, or maybe this is just how he is, right? But there was an element of authentic care that translated over without a shadow of a doubt. I felt it, and it was demonstrated amongst all that there is a distinction. However, that didn't negate the respect or the care or the hospitality for everyone. It was such an amazing act. It was such an amazing display of genuine service and character. How that just played out, it just left me just boggled, right? And it was like, this is what, we need, like this genuine sense of care for each other that's above and beyond the norm. Not that we won't stop serving others, but to demonstrate a level of honor and care for the ones that truly need it, right? And so that just really touched me. And as tired as I was, hopping on all these airplanes and doing all this travel, that just really, to end the trip that way, kind of like puts the bow on it. And it sealed something in my mind and reminds me of why I love people. Like, I am a people lover. And I like to see people cared for, and I like to see people doing well and see people doing happy. It kind of reminded me of what that feels like on the other side, though, not as the doer, but this time from the receiving end. And then furthermore, it just let me know that chivalry is not dead. It's not. And so that was a beautiful way to end my trip. Nevertheless, I'm still tired, very tired. And traveling just does something to you, it takes everything out of you. And it was a very pleasant trip. However, I'm spent. Okay. I am going to spend the rest of my day in this bed, just taking care of myself, taking care of my mental health and my energy, and just being good to myself some more. Um, but I wanted to come on here and say hello. As much as I want to get up and do a reading and talk to you guys and see what's going on with you, I feel really called to rest. I hope you guys are resting as well. because there is a quietness today, there's a peace today, there's love today, there's joy today, there's hope today. Despite all that's going on in the news and, all of the foolishness, there is yet still a thin thread of hope that is running through humanity. I want to grab hold of that, and I want to make sure that I keep it going, that I pay it forward in some type of way, in my own way, that I've been called to serve people. But for now, I'm going to rest. But I hold this experience in my heart, though, because I truly feel like it was powerful. There was something about that. Spirit began to talk to me about what we're called to do. We are absolutely called to make a difference. And we don't always have to be shouting from the rooftops and, fighting fire with fire. Sometimes it's subtle. It's a subtle difference of love that's made, that speaks the loudest. And so, and I pay attention to little things. I'm a people watcher. I love watching people. And I notice like every little thing that probably the average person don't notice. But I notice it, and I, really try to understand human nature, I guess is a good way to say it. And so, because it matters, all of it does. It matters. And if we're ever going to really continue to grow and continue to move forward and evolve, I think it's important that we understand. We need to be able to stop and see each other and watch and analyze and ask the questions, ask the why, you know, not just look at things at face value and judge it, but ask why. And so I'm just, I'm a person that will watch things and try to figure out why. Sometimes there is not a good answer, and so it's left undone, and that's okay too. But I think there's like this thin thread of a golden thread that's threading through humanity that is keeping a different kind of hope alive. Not the hope of, keeping this rhetoric going. This is another kind of hope that brings in that energy of evolution and awakening and more connection with each other. And when I say connection, it doesn't always have to be, oh, we're going to be best friends to the end of time. No, the connection that I received in that small little, it was at about maybe 15 minutes of receiving service from someone, that's something that I will remember for a while, if not for the rest of my life. That's what I'm talking about. When we talk about connection, it doesn't always have to be intimate. It doesn't always have to be something that we end up committing to. But it's just, I don't know. That was different. That was different. That was powerful. And what made it so powerful, I'm sitting there on the bus and I'm just like, I could feel like I don't know if I would call it uncomfortableness. I can feel the awareness in the room, the awareness of what was taking place in the room. However, no one could say anything because his level of service was inclusive of everyone. It was very humble and inclusive, like very respectful, and inviting of everyone. However, there was a pointing out the need for a specific kind of service, right? I don't know how to explain it. It was just, yeah, it was an experience that was felt. And I could feel that everyone else felt it too. And it was an awkward feeling on one part of not being able to complain because you are being served with respect and with hospitality in the same way. And so, though there was that slight sense of uncomfort with what was happening, especially when he asked the man to get up to let me sit down, like it was like, really? What? You want me to give my seat? But what could you say? Like, what could the response be other than, yes, I will be a gentleman? But why would you even have to be asked when you see women standing, right? Especially a woman of color. And he did not stutter when he said, oh, this man is going to get up and let you sit down. We don't see that anymore. Mm-mm. And so, yeah, that just hit me some kind of way. And I'm just like, ooh, that was a power blow. But anywho, I hope you guys are well. I hope you're well. And um, maybe tomorrow I will come and give some encouragement. Maybe even, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to do too much. Y'all, I have to make myself sit down because I will do too much. I'm already planning to come tonight when I just got through saying that I'm resting the rest of the day. And my double sided tongue is trying to plan to come and do a reading of the week tonight. We're not doing that, okay? Let me just make it clear and put it in the atmosphere that we are not coming to do a reading tonight. No, ma'am. No, sir. We are not, okay? We have already committed to ourselves and we are going to rest tonight. The whole rest of the day through, we are going to recoup the energy that we have just extended and spent from traveling. That's what we're going to do. That is the highest calling for today. And there it is there. Okay. So I hope you guys are well too. And maybe tomorrow, if I get up early enough before I head in to work, I will put a reading together for this last week in August. August has been just many. So many things have transpired. And when we walked into August, things look so different than they do right now, right? Is anybody else experiencing major transformation as we speak? Um, yeah, things moving so fast. And so, yeah, but I hope you're just managing through it all, staying balanced and grounded and staying in the best of spirits, avoiding, things that don't serve us, and just, keeping your crown on straight. Okay. And when you see your sister or your brother's crown that tilts a little bit, just straighten it up for them. And you don't even have to tell them that it wasn't straight. Just straighten it up for them and keep it moving. Okay. You don't have to tell the world. Just keep it moving. All right. And I just stopped by to say hello and to let you all know that I'm still here, just really tending to some things for myself. that's necessary right now. And I felt the need to come on and share that experience on the shuttle today as I got back home. That was just, it was powerful, subtly powerful. There is a lot that was said, and I received it full heartedly. I know everyone else on that shuttle received it too. And the diversity on the shuttle was what makes it even more powerful. And now everybody probably received a different message, but there was definitely a message that was sent on that shuttle today. And it was a message of peace. It was a message of power. It was a message of love. Um, and it was also a directive. It was a directive. This is how we can make an impact, especially when we stand in places of service, right? We make the impact by making it known and obvious that yes, we are going to take care of our own. We are. And it has nothing to do with me trying to do this to get something out of it or me doing this to expect something back. This is me doing my part, showing love and putting the emphasis where it is needed, where it's needed. If you know, you know, okay? If you know, you know. Some things don't even have to be said, they're just known. There is a communication that was had, it was just known. It doesn't even have to be spoken. There is a language that was communicating spiritually. It was just known and it was powerful and it was communicated flawlessly. And so I'm pleasantly pleased. And so I'm just sitting here relaxing. I'm going to probably find something to just, let my hair down and just flow with the rest of the day. It's still early, so I still have time to just kind of rest. But I did want to come on and say hello, tell you guys I'm still here. Um, Even though I have just a handful of faithfuls, sometimes there's a few that come by and, see what your girl talking about. Sometimes it's just maybe one or two or three, you know. Whoever is called to come and listen comes, and that's okay, right? Like I just said, it's doing what we're called to do. And in that is how we are able to make those subtle differences and pay it forward and keep that golden thread, right, flowing through. That's the hope. Okay, so however we're able to keep that, keep passing it forward, that's what we're going to do. We find ways to do that powerfully. And so, if you know, you know. I hope you guys are well. And I'll talk to you guys maybe tomorrow. Okay. I most absolutely am not coming tonight. I'm going to fight myself about that. We're not going to do that. Okay. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. I'll most likely get lots of rest and probably be up early tomorrow, maybe even in the wee hours of the night. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. I just wanted to come by and say hello and see what it do. All right. Like, share, comment if you want. And we'll talk next time. Bye.